guys, how are you? Okay, so today we're going to do micropore tape and a few things that you can do. I've got two different sizes here. I've got some stays on, but you can use like the Distress Oxide. You can use any kind of ink, really. You have to have a couple, one stamp set would work, but you want little stamps and big stamps. This other stamp set now, it's got, a large, some medium size, and then some tiny ones, and that works really well. Some of them, you also, if you have some verbiage versus pictures, that works really well too. So, and here I'm showing you, I've got distress ink, distress stains, so all this kind of stuff is definitely going to work for you. So, on my craft mat, I'm going to go ahead and take some lengths of the micropore tape. I think this one is about, let's see, what is that? About 2.5 inches, and then this other one is about 1.5 inches, I think. Sorry, I didn't really measure them, but and I'm cutting them because I don't really want to wrinkle them up by doing too much ripping. The other one, I've got actual little terror on it, little something, whatever, that little blue thing right there. Yeah, so it tears it really nice, but I didn't have that for the other one. My husband actually went to a garage sale and found 2 gallon-size bags full of this micropore tape, and he came home and he says, I think I found you something really cool, but I don't know. He said it's like tape, but it feels like cloth or something. And so I looked at it and I said, oh, you got a wonderful thing. And I'm gonna show you here. Yes, that's very good. I just butted them up together. But I'm going to show you here 2 different ways of there's my thinking fingers. So obviously I can't use my stamp jiggy thing, so just got myself a little one of my bricks here and just inking up. So again, this is stays on. This is the Nash, which is like a dark brown espresso kind of color. And this is a stamp set that is from, I don't remember. It's you saw it at the beginning there, I think. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I think it goes with one of the Graphic 45 bits and pieces. One of the Graphic 45 paper collections, an older one. So anyway, but again, you want some different things in there, like here's some words. Then you've got the pen. You've got a sign. So the more different things you can work with, the more interesting you're going to make your tape. So basically, we're just kind of collaging things right now, and I'm not really paying much attention to what's going where. And I always like to use the stays on, especially if I'm going to use like the water-based stuff, like the stain. Now the oxide, I think still when you're first putting it on there, the oxide stuff will can blur some of that stuff, make it run. So that's one reason I really like using the StazOn on this for the stamping part of it. Any color StazOn will work with whatever it is that you're going to be doing. What I'm doing here is I had the 2.5, one 2.5, and one 1.5 for one stamp set, and then I'm going to come in with the second stamp set and do the other 2 stamps. So that's why I'm just kind of staying in this one side here. If I would have thought about it, I would have put my stamp cushion underneath my craft mat so that I could have gotten even better. I did get, like, the pen parts of it didn't really come through really well, and it just helps give you a crisper image. But for the most part, this is really a nice. It turned out very nice. Let me put it that way. The Micropore tape does have a texture to it, and so your stamping is not going to be as crisp as it is on just a piece of paper. And yes, going off the lines to fill in spots is a good thing. You know, you always want it to not look like there's a starting and an ending to these kind of things. So, but you can see here how it's really nice to have a multitude of different types of things. Now, if you don't have, you know, if you pull out 2 or 3 stamp sets to use on the same one, well, that's fine. I mean, the sky's the limit. There's no wrong or right way of doing this. I'm just trying to give you, maybe the first couple of times you do it, you might want to do it this way, just till you get a feel of what, you know, what you want, what works for you, and that kind of thing. And I do like to kind of fill in the majority of the space and not have a lot of blank space, because, well, let's face it, blank space can be kind of boring. I'm sorry. Yeah, blank space can be boring. But, okay, so now I'm getting into the other stamp set. And there's birds, and, well, you'll see, but there's birds, and that's a bird cage, and that's another bird, and then the little verbiages, and I think there's one that's got some flowers on it. But I really like that stamp set as well. Okay, so now we're doing a different color. We're doing the VersaFine. That's another good one, especially because it's going to give you a super fine line. That's, again, what VersaFine is specializes in. Gives you a really nice fine line, and does help on this Micropore tape. So, just making sure I've got everything in focus for you. And this stamp set is got a lot of really detailed things on the stamps. So, sorry, little snifflies. Got little snifflies. Again, if I would have put that little stamp cushion underneath, that would have been fantastic. But it all works pretty well. Now, some of you would probably could take and not use the blocks, the stamp blocks, and just stamp, you know, ink your stamps and flip them over and push on them. And I am not a really neat crafter, so if I do that, I am wearing all the ink on my fingers. And you'll notice I have beautifully manicured fingernails with a color that I don't normally wear, pink, but my mom and I worked on each other's fingernails. We did each other's manicures, and so yeah, but I don't normally wear that color, just not me. Just not me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm more like metallic, but not like black, or I like silver and gold and copper and bronze and glitter. I like glittery things, bright shiny things. My husband says that all it's got to do is do a little glimmer and I'm gone totally. He has to get my attention back again before I even know he's in the room. Oh, maybe that's why I like crafting so much. So I'm just kind of doing my bigger pieces. If you noticed, I kind of did the larger to smaller stamps, but like I'm already getting smaller stamps ready, but this is, I think these are some flowers, but or maybe this is verbiage, I don't remember, but yeah, I should totally still be birds of a feather. I should totally still be, working off kind of a mid-range size or larger to fill in those major holes, but that's okay. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way of doing things, but it is kind of nice to get your big pieces in, and then your little stamps you can fill in little blanks. But if you start with all your little stamps, and you might not leave yourself the space that you need for your bigger ones. Just a thought. But again, there's no right, no wrong. It's just have fun, experiment, play around. Even if it doesn't feel right, do it. It's just paper and ink, It's micropore tape. See? I am not a neat crafter. Never have been, never will be, and I'm okay with that. Because that makes me know that I have been working. Yeah, I sit down in my craft room every single day. Now, some days it's only for 10 minutes at a time, but there's other times that I get a nice bit of time in here. So I think that's one reason I do the videos so much, is because I don't have anybody else to sit in here with me. So aren't those pretty flowers? I just have you guys. So I chit chat. If you haven't been able to tell, though, this is a voiceover because my parents had some people over, and I wanted to do videos. But I tell you, it's like doing 2 videos for the price of 1. Yeah, so voiceovers, I don't like doing them unless I got to. But I was really excited to try and show you guys this, and I needed it for a journal that I'm making, and so I just thought it was a good time since I needed it. See, and now, instead of having filled that space in with a bunch of larger things, now I'm just kind of trying to fill it in with all the smaller stuff, and Ta-da! my little Vanna. There's my little Vanna. Okay, now what am I going to do? Thinking fingers, thinking fingers. It's amazing what I do that I don't notice, and then when I sit and watch myself, it's like, oh, I really do that when I think all the time. Okay, Distress Ink Spun Sugar. And I would also say heat set this, just because I think some of the stuff that I didn't really let dry, that I get a little bit of it to kind of gets pulled, and yeah. Now this side I didn't get any of it, but I think when see the flowers right there, yep, gotta let it dry. Yeah, waving my hands over, it's not gonna let it dry. Yep, there we go, heat set that puppy. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. Heat set that stuff. Of course, you gotta remember your craft mat doesn't take a huge amount of heat. It starts getting a little warpage in it. But it didn't take very long. Not very long at all. I love these craft mats, but here we go. Now I was going to show you. Yes, it's Distress Stain, and it is Vintage Photo. Oh, that didn't really come out very well, did it? And what am I going to do here? Ah, the old finger. Yeah, I didn't want this to have a whole lot of color in it, but I did want some color in it. And it looks to me like that ink is still not all that dry yet. And that spun sugar really does come off a really nice pink. You're not getting it on the video here. You're not really seeing it, but it does come off a really nice pink. So now I'm just going to show you how you can use this. Voila. And I always decorate my pages before I put them into my book. That way I know how much space each signature is going to need. And so I just ripped it because, like washi tape, you like it ripped better. And basically you can use this just like washi tape. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what it is, except it does have this really cool feel to it. I guess here we go. Guess I decided I wanted the thinner one here. What am I going to do here? Okay, and then I'm just going to cut it off right there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know what I'm trying to tell you there with my hands, but now this is still like the kind of the beginning where, because normally what I do is, see, now there's a piece of this micropore tape that I made and then decided I needed to make some micropore tape to show you guys. and then that is the smaller strip that I made. So so there, now you've seen you know, one way of dealing with the Micropore tape. Now this is a Scotch paper tape. I don't know if you can still get it or not, but that pretty much works the same. But I'm gonna, now this is release paper from my Xyron machine, and boy, I come up with a million things for this paper, for this, you know, this release paper. But you can see the other tape that's on there with like the dress form and everything. That is the tape I just showed you. And it takes the ink, again, stays on, but it takes the ink beautifully. Or no, that is which one is, no, that's the stays on. But that works, and that's like making your own washi tape, you know. I had the tape all together when I was stamping, but then when I took it off the mat and put it on here, you know, I didn't butt them up together. Okay, so now we're going to, this is just a piece of cardstock, not particularly thick cardstock, just a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to take the same thicknesses of the Micropore tape, and I'm going to stick them onto this piece of cardstock. So you get to watch me while I do it all, because I don't have fast forward, and then you'd hear me go while I was doing it. Well, you get to hear me do it anyway. But I really am trying to just butt them together, not overlap. And again, I'm cutting so that I'm not going to have it go and stuff. And you want to make sure that you're not really stretching it, because you want the paper to lie flat. So you're just kind of laying it down. And you know, if you don't get it butted up perfectly, no biggie. No biggie at all. Catch that puppy. So we are almost there. It'll go a little faster now with the wider tape. I'm being way too perfect. You know, I mean, trying to be. I'm not perfect. I make lots of boo-boos. Lots of boo-boos. Yeah, but like I was saying, I must have 50 rolls of Micropore tape now. 50 rolls, people. It was a wonderful thing. And I'm gonna just take this and put the last little bit, because I want it covered from side to side. Honestly, you know, with that little bit left, I could have just left that and not worried about it, but you know, why not just cover it all? And I see I overlapped that a little instead of butting it up, so I just, and the Micropore tape is super easy to take off and start all over again. Okay, so now I'm going to, I don't know, dog hair, people hair, I don't know. There's no telling. And this is painstaking. No, those are Teflon scissors, Martha Stewart's Teflon scissors, and yeah, that stick into it. How irritating is that? So anyway, I ran it through my copier. I cut it all around, obviously, and then I ran it through my copy machine. and super stinking cool. So I'm pulling off a piece so I can show you. I'm going to put it in my book and I can show you what it looks like. But yeah, it runs through, you know, just like it's a regular piece of cardstock. I did not have a bit of problem, never have had a bit of problem with it, as long as you make sure that you've got the ends all the way down so you don't have, you know, it doesn't roll up on you. You know, you definitely don't want this stuff to roll up on you inside your copy machine. Anyway, so, and that little piece stays stuck to my finger until, well, for a little while, you'll see. But isn't that cool? I mean, it does come out, yes, I like it. Thumbs up. It does come out more subdued than it normally is, but still, all in all, very pretty. And again, it has that nice almost cloth-like feel to it, so that when you get that, you know, it's when you get to the page and you see it and you run your finger over it, it's definitely not paper, but it's not material, but it you know, it just gives you that really nice texture. Anyway, well, I wanted to share those with you so that you, if you get some Micropore tape. Now, I tell you, I did find some Micropore tape-ish tape from the dollar store. It definitely is not exactly the same. Yeah, that stuff's more like masking tape than this is. I didn't see a whole lot of difference. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you subscribe to me and give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment if you want to see something else. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.